Military kids from across the state get a unique opportunity to learn about the legislative process up close. Later this month, state lawmakers will recognize military families and children and take part in some fun activities that honor their service. I spoke with the chairman of the Senate Veterans, Military Affairs and Public Protection Committee, often referred to as VMAP, to learn about this year's day-long event.
Being a former military kid myself, this is near and dear to my heart, so this is a great way to start off here with KET, but also to promote our military kids and their families and all the things that they go through and how resilient they truly are.
And you know about how resilient these kids are and what it's like to be a military kid, because you too are a military kid.
Yes, I am. My father was a military policeman for 22 years, and we grew up traveling from base to base as a young man. And when he retired, we came here to Kentucky, close to Fort Knox in Elizabethtown. And Fort Knox is now in my district, and I represent all of Hardin County and southern Jefferson. So it's very, I see a lot of retirees, a lot of veterans, and their children, for that matter, that have traveled the world, and we share experiences. So it's very fulfilling for me.
Yeah, talk about the kids that will be here on Military Kids Day, thinking about the activities that they'll be enjoying and the experience of just being here at this place, which is the temple of our democracy.
That's right, and I wish more would take advantage of this opportunity, and I know we have a great deal of people that have signed up to come, and we have a great agenda for them. I mean, they get to learn about the legislative process, they get to take tours, they get to go to a flight simulator, and so they get to visit some military equipment that'll be brought in. But most importantly, I think for them and their families is to see the legislative process in action and what we do that impacts their lives. And it's very, very important for their participation. And I'm blessed to have Fort Knox, and we have other representatives that have Fort Campbell, but we have military families across the state.
Yeah. So how do they even get to know about this effort and sign up to come?
Right, our staff does a wonderful job of getting the word out each year. And this year, the House is hosting, the House VMAP is the host this year, and we swap every other year. And our staff does a wonderful job of getting those things out to our constituents and advertising in our local papers. And so if anyone is interested in participating, it's Tuesday, February 25th, and they can reach out to Don Holliday, our Senate clerk, to get more information about this. So it's just a wonderful, and I would be remiss if I did not thank Senator Jimmy Higdon.
Right.
You know, this was his, he's the one that, he's kind of the grandfather of this day, if you could say. It was brought to him by a constituent of his, and most of the great ideas here in Frankfort come from our constituents. It's not from the legislator necessarily, it's from the people that we represent. And this was one of them.
Right.
And so we're so blessed to carry this on since, I guess, 2017. When Senator Higdon brought it forward. And
it's not just for the kids, because they bring their families with them, right? And so it's a whole kind of family unit day of celebrating their work, their sacrifice.
Correct. You know, it's not just for the kids, so to speak. You know, there's some, at times our military children are separated from their parents because of deployments, and they do struggle a lot with moving from base to base.
Right.
But where I see some challenges, I also see some great opportunities for those kids.
And they could be interested in being a lawmaker like yourself.
Absolutely.
Did you ever think when you were just a military brat that you'd be sitting?
Well, no, I'll be honest, I did not. But I can tell you that experience as a military child, traveling around the world, really plays well into being a legislator or being a leader of any capacity, whether it's your civic organizations in your town or your school organizations. These are the people that are normally outgoing because they have to be, and they have to be resilient, and they tackle challenges quickly, they overcome barriers, and they're very special, and they grow up to not only sometimes follow their parents in service, but to also become leaders in their communities.
The deadline to register for Military Kids Day at the Capitol is next Monday.